Hello, Jeff Helvin here with Ballen Brands, and today we're going to discuss a little bit about website hosting and more specifically WordPress website hosting. So there's a lot of questions that are circle around hosting because there's a lot of information, a lot of assumptions that are made, and frankly just a lot of things we don't know that we don't know. So I want to help kind of explain a little bit of that here for us today. So first and foremost, what we want to talk about is the fact that not all hosting providers are created the same. Usually there's a different level of service as well as a different level of what we call like a selling rate. So what that means is that each website needs to be hosted online, and it's on a server, a computer, right, that has chips and processors and everything as well. And so, but not not every website has a single device or a single computer, a single unit that is being hosted on. So it's shared. And this is the most common type of hosting, is the shared hosting. So what happens is when we use services like GoDaddy, Bluehost, HostGator, things like that, the very low cost hosting services, what they're doing is they're selling a lot of websites on one server. So let's just say, for example, they've got a server set up, it's got a lot of processors, and maybe it's only $5 a month hosting. Well, that's great, but there's probably could be 500 websites on the one server. So they're making a good amount of money on the servers, but what happens is that we're losing we're sharing a lot of resources. So if there happens to be other websites on that same server that use a lot of resources from that same computer, from that same server, then it's going to affect your performance on your website. So it's something we want to keep an eye on. So there is an element of what you get what you pay for when it comes to hosting services. So some of the most popular ones, again, just from marketing and names, are things like GoDaddy. So if we look at GoDaddy, we'll see they have WordPress hosting plans specifically. Start at $10 a month, $11 a month, $15 a month. So that's not bad, right? It tells you get one website, 20 gigs of storage space. Most websites aren't going to use anywhere near that. 24-hour malware scans and removal, right? Free, a couple free things here and there. Give you a domain for the first year, right? They throw in a lot of extra services because GoDaddy is not just a hosting platform. It is a domain names, emails, the whole bit. So in that case, they're kind of like a jack of all trades. They're not really an expert at one thing. Domain names is their main thing, but they're really kind of an expert, or a jack of all trades. So you're going to get, in our opinion, in our experience, subpar service from that type of service. So next we have here is Bluehost as an example. So if we look down at Bluehost, you'll see they've got their introductory rates at $3 a month, less than $6 a month. Same thing, you get a website. This one you only get 10 gigs of storage instead of 20, but again, you probably won't use much of that for new websites. Custom themes, which all WordPress websites have, frankly, and then it also includes, in some cases, a free domain, free SSL for the first year, okay, things like that. So secure certificate, making sure that your website has the HTTPS on it. Those are additional. Those types of things are not included usually with these kind of a la carte services when they do domain names, emails, hosting, etc. So same kind of situation as GoDaddy, where it's a little bit of a mixed bag, jack of all trades, not really specializing in the one thing. HostGator is another large company, so they've got a hosting company known for hosting, and they have specifically WordPress hosting, so I can learn more about that and see what their plans are. Again, $5, $8, $10 a month. Look, it's affordable. It's not a bad price, obviously. This is saying you get 100,000 visits per month. So it's not even telling you like how much storage you're getting. It's saying you get a gig of backups, which means if your website is more than a gig, you're going to have to pay more to have backups done. Says you do get the free SSL certificate and domain, included. And this, these are all like these little details that kind of add up. So same thing here, low cost, not very expensive, which is great. But everything's going to be like a little bit extra, add SSL or add malware scanning, things like that. So it's something you want to be cautious of when you're, choosing the right plan. So that's what we consider like the low level hosting services. You get into more of that mid-level hosting service. So service like Flywheel, for example, they don't do emails, they don't do domain names, they don't sell any of that stuff. It's 100% specifically WordPress website hosting. That's it. That's what they excel at. That's what they're experts at. So you'll see their plans a little bit more per month, right? But it says 5,000 monthly visits, 5 gigs of storage. Again, a little less, storage. They're not overselling. They're not overselling their servers. So you're getting a better result. And again, once you push up against those numbers, well, then you can upgrade to the next plan if it's necessary. But you'll find in the beginning, especially, you're probably not really utilizing that much anyway. It's got plenty of storage, plenty of visits for you to get started, get your website going. So that's something to consider. Again, they do include free SSL certificates, free backups, automatically. So there's a lot that's already included because it's what your website needs. It's not about how much more money can they make from you on these other services like support. They also do proactive malware scanning. So we find that clients will actually get notification that malware was found, and then they will help clean it up. Again, all not for an additional charge. They don't have additional charges. There's nothing that you can pay them for additionally outside of this monthly hosting arrangement. So it's a pretty inclusive type of service that works really well. Then you could go to something like WP Engine, same thing. So managed WordPress. You'll see they have monthly and annual prices. So $24 a month, for their particular plans starting. That's again a little bit more, right? One site you get 25,000 visits per month, which is more than what you get in the other Flywheel, and 10 gigs of storage, which is more than you get in Flywheel. But again, if you're not using all of that space, well, then having larger plans doesn't necessarily give you a better deal. But this does again also include where they're focusing on hosting, and that's it. They're not trying to sell you all these additional services. So this is, again, the mid-level hosting type service that is recommended, frankly, if you want to have a successful business WordPress website. And then lastly, there's services like ours, where it's actually a managed service, meaning you're paying us. We use servers and services, of course, to fulfill our hosting. But we're going to do things a little bit different. So not only are we offering the same types of free SSL and the dedicated resources for your particular website, but backups, the whole thing, proactive scanning for viruses, things like that. But we also have packages that would include things like actual time to work on your website. So because we're a service company, we're able to actually bundle in where we're going to log in multiple times a month and keep your plugins and themes updated for you. Make sure that stays secure and your site stays running optimized so that it runs efficiently. So in this, you're getting your WordPress, you're getting nightly backups, your regular virus scanning, free SSL certificate. We'll migrate your existing WordPress website over to our servers if it's already up and exists. Theme and plugin updates, like I mentioned, plenty of monthly visits, storage space, bandwidth, and we also give you the 30 minutes of site updates per month with this mid-tier package. So the only thing that you don't get over here is just that additional time per month, and again, a little bit less of the resources, which again, you probably won't use in the beginning anyway. And then finally, we have the larger package as well, which would then give you 60 minutes of updates per month. And that's where you basically just email our team, say, hey, I'd like to make this change, or I want to have these things altered. We'll do that for you as part of the service. So our $49 a month isn't comparable to, a $24 a month or a $5 a month plan on other services, because it's not just hosting. It's hosting and maintenance, where we're proactively making updates to the website for you, keeping those themes and plugins updated, and basically being a resource for you to call on, because these other platforms don't have the staff or the services to provide, developer type resources. So that's the difference. Hopefully that helps understand that there's, again, low cost hosting. You just have something up. It's kind of up to you. Hopefully nothing bad happens. If it does, you're going through customer support and trying to get things done. They probably would charge you some extra to resolve things and fix things. Then you've got that mid-level where we tend to see a little less of those challenges. They're not overselling their servers. You're getting a better overall experience with your website and for your website. And then services like ours, where you're getting all of that, as well as the additional proactive theme and plugin updates, and of course website updates as you need them. So if you have any questions on hosting or anything else, we would love to answer those for you. You can email us at team@ballenbrands.com.